Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to Coffee Talk! So, we're having coffee talk on my front porch in my cabin in the woods. And today we're talking about the Russian Book of Alien Races. Dun, dun, dun. Now, this book was supposedly found in a field in Siberia, just laying on the ground back in 1980. And apparently it was somehow turned over to a KGB agent who defected, and he turned over this information from this book to the press, to his friends in the press. Now, this book describes 58 alien races along with their craft, a description of what they're like, what they're into, what they do, and a little bit about their history. And there's illustrations, hand-drawn illustrations. There's some photographs. There's also in this book, supposedly, I don't have a copy. I'm just looking on the internet to find it. But there's also stories of abductees, especially the stories of children abductees. Apparently, they had a special interest, the Russians did, in why aliens kidnap children. So, at any rate, I thought I would go through and talk about some of the alien races that are found in this Russian book. And, you know, whether you believe that aliens are demons or that demons are aliens, hey, if you don't believe that these aliens are real and these descriptions are real, then you might also call this alien disguises or demon disguises, demons disguised as aliens. So these are their different forms they come in, according to the Russian alien book. Now, the origins of this book come from an outfit known as SMERSH. SMERSH. S-M-E-R-S-H. Apparently, Stalin started this organization, and it's kind of like the Russian Men in Black. Dun, dun, dun. So let's go down and talk about some of these alien races. I think the ones that you'll find most interesting are the Alpha Draconians. And I think a lot of us know who the Alpha Draconians are. They're reptilians, and they claim to be the original natives of Earth. The Alpha Draconians claim that their race originated from Terra, or Earth. And it's why they claim that they have preeminent and preemptive control of this planet. And these might be what we call demons. Dun, dun, dun. A lot of people go around saying God is in control. Well, God might be in control of you if you let him. But we have free will. But my Bible tells me that the whole world is under the sway of the evil one. And maybe this is why, because the devil, or these draconians, these reptilians, think that they are the originators and the original species of planet Earth, and that is their claim, which is highly disputed. So also, we've got the Els, or the Elder Race. This is what we know of as the Anunnaki. According to this, the descriptions in this book, these are also maybe what we would call red-headed giants. They grow between 9 and 12 feet tall, and they can apparently shrink themselves down through some technological advancement to appear human-sized so they can walk amongst us. Ooh, that'll make you look twice at the nearest redhead. People always say gingers aren't from this planet. Hey, we redheads definitely have a different temper, a different temperament than a lot of other folks. Are we descended from the red-headed giants? Dun, dun, dun. What's some other ones? The Algork. I can't even pronounce it. The Algork. This is, according to this book, the Builder Race. They're responsible for framing new planets and building new structures and basically creating, well, a lot of people think they might have created the inner Earth caverns as well as the hollow moon. There's another race known as the Messengers. Could this be what we call an angel? The descriptions of the messengers seem a lot like angels, as well as another race known as the Lights. The Lights, from what I can tell, remind me of the characters created in the motion picture Cocoon, where these creatures go into this cocoon form, and when they come out, they're pure light. And they're non-gender specific, so they're genderless and transparent and supposed to be super wise and telepathic. So maybe this is also an angelic being, presumably. And then there's the Andromedans. If you noticed, I'm looking down because I took some notes. There's a lot of names here to try to keep track of, so I did take some notes on this one. But the Andromedas are the blue-skinned humans. These are what you might have seen in Avatar. And they are supposed to be more or less human in structure, but blue-skinned because of their native planet causes their skin to have this the blue hue to it. There's another one. These also sound like demons. These are what they call maters, like maitre d', that same word, mater. And these are parasite. This is a race of parasites. And they're about the same height as humans, but they kidnap humans. And they're notorious for kidnapping many, many humans. And they want our planet. They want to take our planet over. They want to occupy our planet. And they have a planned invasion, but it's being held at bay by other friendly races, according to the Russian Book of Alien Races. So we are protected, I guess, presumably by God and his angels. I guess, what is God if not an alien? I mean, he didn't come from here, right? We know that. He created, according to our Bible, heaven and earth. So he can't be from earth, or I guess he can't really even be from heaven. So you'd have to call him alien. But yeah, maybe God's protecting us against these mater parasites that want to take over our planet. They live to be about 120 years old, apparently, so they're not long lifespan creatures. And there's some more. There's some called the Dries. They're 8 foot tall. They kidnap people for reproduction, but also for slaves. And they are, in fact, carnivores, so they eat all kinds of meat. I guess humans too, as well. There's some smaller ones, the Langs. They're 2 foot tall, and these are the aliens that may have inspired the story of elves, and they're also notorious for kidnapping humans for nefarious purposes. There's the Smad. These are humanoid type aliens, and they seem to be obsessed with human religious thought and beliefs. The Tengri, they're underground dwellers, but 10 million of them live in a mothership that just kind of hangs around our end of the galaxy, apparently. There's the Argarthians. The Argarthians, we know, are what people base the Inner Earth stories on. Argartha, these are Inner Earth tall Nordic Inner Earth dwellers, and maybe this is who was met. Who Admiral Byrd met on his epic flight from his diary, the Admiral Byrd Diaries. You should read that. It talks about him discovering an inner Earth community of Nordics with advanced technology. And then what I find really interesting are what they call the Dorsays, and the Dorsays are apparently only 1.5 foot tall, so they're like little bitty guys. But apparently their favorite food is human. They like to eat humans. But, I mean, that'd have to be one tough little dude for 1.5 foot tall guy to take on a guy like me and try to eat me. I ain't scared of much, but that is kind of scary, like an 18-inch tall. Ooh, it makes me think of this movie I saw a long time ago about this little voodoo doll that came to life and had a little knife and is chasing this woman around the house and a little stabby, was stabbing it in the floor and trying to get her. Man, I must have accidentally watched that show when I was little because it left me scarred. So that could be scary. A little guy with a knife going to eat the humans, and he's only 18 inches tall. That'd be a tough little dude. So there's also the Antarcticans. The Antarcticans are another Nordic race of super tall blonde-haired, blue-eyed Nordics who apparently live under the ice in Antarctica. And that they have, according to this book and some other sources, they have partnered with Nazis who escaped punishment and took their super soldiers or their Aryan super soldier genetically engineered troops and people, and they went under the ice in Antarctica and partnered with these Aryans, these Antarcticans known as Aryans. And now there is this hybrid race of human and Antarctic Aryans who live under the ice in Antarctica and drive spaceships, flying saucers with swastikas on the side. And apparently these were the craft responsible for shooting up one of our expeditionary fleets that went down there with a full combat-ready attack force right after World War II to deal with the remaining Nazis. This is according to some American mythology, that this big battle ensued, and I believe Admiral Byrd was part of that as well. I think he might have been heading that up to go down to Antarctica, and they got dealt with handily by these swastika-laden flying saucers of the Nazi/Aryan origin. So, you know, there's a lot of, I gotta say, I just touched the surface of this 58 different alien races. We just scratched the surface and talked about a few. And what I find most interesting, that if this is made up, man, what a great imagination whoever wrote it had to have. I mean, they go into some pretty detailed descriptions, you know, right down to the star clusters and which star they're from and naming them. So whoever wrote this, if it was a fake, they had to know a thing or two about astronomy. It's pretty detailed. And, you know, so what if they know something we don't know? What if there are all of these alien races, these alien species, but maybe, just maybe, they're demons and they're all in disguises? But then why would they disguise themselves as these other races? I don't know. And there's the whole thing of, if God made humans, and we're not all good, right? We come in good and bad. We could collectively turn bad as a race. I mean, it's starting to look like that's happening in our culture. Everybody's turning dark. You know, what if that happened and we became technologically advanced and we left the bounds of Earth and started traveling around looking for other of God's creations to torment? Since we get tired of tormenting ourselves, I guess, tormenting each other. So is it a stretch of the imagination to think that God made other races, you know, besides the human race, that there are other planets where God planted an Adam and Eve type of humanoid? Maybe we're blessed that we're made in the image of God, and some of these others are just made from God's imagination. And he's got one. Look at the platypus. Man, that took some thinking. It's got a duck bill, it's got webbed feet and a tail like a beaver and hair with a duck bill and lays eggs. God's got some serious imagination going, so why wouldn't he create some platypuses on some other planets and have them rise intellectually like we have, and you know, give them free will and the opportunity to serve God or to serve darkness, to serve the powers of light or the powers of darkness? And why wouldn't God do that? I mean, who are we to put God in a box and limit him? So whether these things are true aliens, God's various creations who are in various disarray, you know, they're on various levels of being righteous or unrighteous, being good or evil, and you know, maybe they're all demons. But what are demons? Demons are God's creation that chose to be evil. So it's such a, I don't know. That's why I don't care if you want to call them aliens or demons. They're all the same thing. I mean, a demon's an alien, and an alien's a demon, because, you know, they ain't from here. And you know, are they aligned with the Alpha Draconian Luciferian Satan? You know, or are they just kind of, some of them more neutral, and some of them maybe more like us, and have a good heart, but we always fall short of the glory of God? I don't know. Tell me what you think about the Russian book of alien races in the comment section. And I gotta go, because as you can see, I'm all out of coffee. See you next time.